Without good blocking, your team's not going anywhere. Cisco blocks cyber attacks for customers around the world, including the entire Fortune 100 and the NFL. Because when the game is on the line, and it's always on the line, the NFL relies on Cisco.
We have a scoring position. What, in your perspective, prevented the offense from being able to move the ball to the red zone or down to the goal line?
Well, I think there's a number of factors. First of all, when we get it there, we got to do more with it. We had a couple negative plays in those situations, and that put us out. We weren't able to convert on. We're on a long field, so that's always hard to move the ball an extra 30 or 40 yards. But look, that is what it is. We get the ball there, we still got to do more with it. But we had one drive, I think it was like 14 plays and something like that, and went from the down somewhere around the 10 to the 30. So it's a good drive, but it's still not really even in scoring range. So it's a combination of not having enough explosive plays, not being able to do well enough when we got the ball into plus territory, and playing on a long field always makes it just statistically harder to make long drives compared to short ones. So those are some of the things. But in the end, when we get there, we just got to do more with the opportunities that we have when we get the ball in the scoring area.
And just one quick follow-up. Were you pleased enough with the offensive performance to start Bailey again on Thursday?
Yeah, we'll talk about the game plan here today.
Thank you.
Next question, Chris Rock.
Bill, in reference to yesterday and also kind of more generally this season, what do you view as being the main problems in terms of the offensive production? Is it a talent issue? Is it an execution issue? Because obviously the defense has you in games, but the offense has not been able to seemingly live up to their end of the bargain.
Yeah, well, there's no question we need to be more productive offensively. So we'll just keep working on it.
Is it a talent issue? Execution? What do you feel?
I think it's a combination of things, but if we can make them better, then collectively I think we'll set better results.
Keon White, team high in snaps on defense yesterday. What have you seen from him in his development? How has he grown into more playing time?
Yeah, no, Keon's a hard-working kid. He's out there every day, and that's how you get better. You get better with being on the practice field, working on your techniques, your reads, your fundamentals, your keys, and then improving your techniques. He's done all those, and gets better every day, and has improved over the course of the season. It's a credit to his hard work and coachability that he's done that.
Thank you.
Next question, Michael Hurley, and I encourage others to raise a hand if you have a question.
Bill, just a quick question on Bailey. I know it's limited sample size, and a couple passes yesterday probably could have been caught, but 50% completion rate through this point. Are you seeing a different quarterback than what you had last year in Bailey, or what is? I don't know if 50% sticks out to you or not.
Yeah, well, again, we always look to increase our production on everything. So passing games, in part a function of the quarterbacks, function of the receivers, pass protection, and the plays and the way they match up against the coverages. So let's try to keep moving forward and maximize every one of those areas the best we can.
Chris Ryan, followed by Dakota Randall.
I want to ask as well about Pittsburgh on a short week. What are the challenges of taking them on or anybody on in a short week, particularly when you're looking to find some consistency on one side of the ball?
Yeah, well, again, it's every team has one of these games, and we've all had them in the past. So It's about rest, recovery, being physically ready to go, and mentally. Quick turnaround from yesterday's game to Pittsburgh scouting report today, and a couple days of trying to get things covered. We're pretty far into the season. I don't think there's a lot of new things, but it's more adapting into what we do against what they do, which is different than what we've seen, especially defensively. There's just a lot of odd spacing based defense. Not that we haven't seen that, but I mean, these guys obviously do a lot of it, and so we'll have to. And they do it kind of their style of doing it, and so we'll have to adapt that to some of the things that that we want to do in this game. So it's it's quick turnaround that again, physically, mentally, and then from a game planning standpoint, we just all have to not try to do too much game planning, but physically be ready to go and be ready to compete for 60 minutes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Next question, Dakota Randall, followed by Zach Cox.
Bill, similar question, but specifically on Pittsburgh's offense. How tough is it to develop a game plan for them this week, given the coordinator change, the injury to the quarterback that just happened, and including the short week?
Right. Well, again, when you're this far into the season, I don't think you'd see too many teams on a Thursday game revamp and run a whole new offense. At this point, you've committed a lot of time and reps to what you do, and you modify it a little bit for the specific opponent, but you pretty much are what you are at this point in the season. And in terms of schematically, I don't think you're going to put in 20 or 30 new plays this week. So even if it was a full week, so I just I think you prepare for what you've seen. We played this team last year, so we have a little bit of a background, at least with some of the personnel and certainly the defensive scheme. But look, there's always the unknown. Something different could happen, and if it does, then we'll have to be ready to adapt to it. So, thank you.
And one more. Do you anticipate Matthew Judon being able to return to practice at all down the stretch this season?
We'll see. That's a good question. Yeah, we'll see. That's a medical question. So we'll see how that plays out. I know he's working hard. Matt's been in here and works hard on a daily basis. But again, that's a medical question that I wouldn't be able to answer.
It looks like the last question will be Zach Cox.
Morning, Bill. What
Zach.
does Mapu need to show you in order to earn a more significant role defensively? I know he had some opportunities early in yesterday's game, but only 7 defensive snaps, I believe, over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, well, we have pretty good depth at that position, and obviously Peppers and Duggar are, two of our best players and two of the better players in the league at that position. So, not really looking to get them off the field and just get playing time for somebody. Use players around guys like Duggar and Peppers situationally because you think they can help you in that situation in a certain package, and so that's really what players need to do in situations like that is develop an opportunity and then be ready to perform well when those opportunities come to create more opportunities. So and Tay's done that. I mean, he's a hard-working kid. He really pays attention, very studious and attentive, and he's improved a lot through the course of the year. I don't think he's a good player. Will be a good player, but he's still young and inexperienced. And I'd say right now, the guys ahead of him are just ahead of him.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you, Coach. Thanks, everyone. We'll have some player availability later.